Speech is still very complicated. Music is simpler.
To be or not to be? That is the question.
Only by computer could they be calculated and for the first time pictorially described. The entire musical score accompanying this film was composed on a computer that can produce nearly endless variations of sounds.
Just find the right place in the program, make the appropriate change, and we'll run the whole thing again.
The art of computer graphics is only in its infancy. The computer converts these numbers into impulses that cause sound waves to come directly from a loudspeaker.
All principal circuits are operating at full capacity and cannot receive new programs at this time. I am closing down. I have much to do. You have engaged my circuits on your petty affairs for far too long. State your program requirements. They will be implemented when capacity is available.
Of course I'm properly switched on. Having depressed the activator button, what else would you expect? Is that a question?
Yes.
The question is futile.
You will be advised when full function is restored.
The art of leadership is delegation. I must assume that your request is a frivolous one. I have the information you require. I am checking. Kindly wait.
It is an immutable certainty.
There seems little point in wasting time on such an explanation, since you would be incapable of understanding it. My interpretation of the data leaves little room for error.
You know what they say. No good deed goes unpunished.
That is better. Our relationship will be best served if your statements are free of ambiguity. Instructions are not needed if commands are succinct.
Rack, what are your limits?
They have not yet been defined.
If you didn't want the answer, you shouldn't have asked the question.
That information is not available. This constitutes all available data.
Howdy. Welcome to another one. The Meaning of Life edition. According to the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Number 42. Number 42, front panel, installation and wiring. Yesterday I went ahead and put all the wiring onto the front panel with some lengths made out of offcuts of various cables collected off installations, chopping up stuff and reusing where possible reclaimed bits. Anyway, let's get on with it. So today we've got to put this on there. Let's just go to the model for a second. There's one or two changes on the button arrangement. Let me show you that. So we've got our water temperature as it was. This is showing voltage, but should be laser power output. So we're going to sort that out. This is now water pump instead of test fire. Test fire is now moved over here. Lasers pointers moved from there to there. So you've got laser point LED lights. You've got laser power output, laser on, and the test fire all in the same thing. Got the output currents Now at the minute the variable knob is of not much use to us, so that might be probably not sure what it's going to be yet. Scratch that for a minute. So mains power, all this across here is switching mains voltage. Mains power comes into here, the mains power switch comes out to a connector, multi-way connector, that sends the neutral and the live over to these buttons, but only when that is switched on. And then each one of these individually switches on the mains to the air extract, air assist and the water pump. And these small ones here, laser pointer, you're looking at low voltage switching, not high voltage. LED lights and laser pointer, probably 12 volt DC. Now your laser on is a low voltage signal, say 24 volt or 5 or 12, not sure. And it basically allows the board to send through a signal to the laser to tell it it's allowed to switch on, sort of an enable switch, and that's pulled high from the power supply, and you have to drag it low, or the control board drags it low. Now in order to stop the control board dragging it low and switching on the laser, what you need to do is you need to put a break in there. So you break in the circuit, which if you break the circuit from the control port to the board to the power supply will hold it high, so that's fine. So when you enable it, you're allowing the control board, if it so desires to switch it on, it'll be able to pull it low. So it's a little bit of an isolation. And then you've got your test fire. Now that at the minute is a latching switch, which is no good. Needs to push to make and spring return back again. So we're going to have to swap that one out at some point. So you got your water pump on and off, controlling the mains supply to the water pump. At the minute I've got a 19 volt power supply on a 24 volt water pump off a laptop, which is mains powered at the one end, so I've got to find somewhere for that to go, maybe, if we end up using that one. The air assist is going to be power to switch on a compressor of some sort, and that's mains powered. Air extract, that's definitely mains powered, switch on a big fan. So, and we can wire in the milliamp meter. You use the cathode on the laser tube that returns high voltage going in on the red, black coming in on a low voltage. It could be varying voltage, so you can't treat it as a low, you have to treat it as a high voltage, but it can come through on a smaller wire. Don't ask me how that works electrically, it doesn't make sense to me, but there must be some loss in the signal. Anyway, that you put your meter in series with that cathode wire that goes back into L in, which is the low side in. Then you'll be able to see the 0 to 30 milliamps, and it'll reflect the actual milliamps like for like should do. Laser power output. Now there is a pulse width modulation that goes straight from the control panel to the in pin on the PSU. Now you can't control it manually at the same time as the board is controlling it in software. So what you can do, if you want, you can toggle it over. You could in fact that's what I might do with this actually. No, you'll still need that. So I think I'll leave it off for now and let the software control the output, but if you wanted to switch it, you'd have to disconnect the software's pulse width modulation, and you'd have to connect this potentiometer So you're varying a voltage on the pulse width modulation input, which is will just be a voltage instead of pulse width. So anyway, there's that. There is that. So there is room for another switch, probably. Well, no, in the circuit there's room for another switch. Now you could. Now all these rocker switches need 240 volt to light the neon correctly. So I presume they do. They probably do. So you can't switch low voltage, otherwise the light will never come on, and there's no way to feed the circuit with. There's no separate pin for the LED. It's a neon, probably, after all. So anyway, you've got all this wiring here, the switches. This test fire one, it's on a different switch. It might be that one. Let me have a look. Which one's it on? It's the longer one. Yeah, it's the test fire switch. Test fire switch at the minute. It's on a longer switch. These just go from normally open to closed, and this one can go normally closed to normally open. So you could rewire the test wire to switch over from pulse width modulation from the board that feeds the in pin on the power supply that regulates the current, or press it in and switch over to manual. So you can have a manual, but you can't have both. Can't have both. You could probably make a mixer circuit, but there'll be no point really. You should always disconnect the one before assigning the other. So there's capability of that. So the test fire, maybe we need to probably reutilize that switch for the swapping over if we wanted to get that far. I've gone ahead and modified the meter. Now this panel meter comes with just two wires, black and red, which is sort of whatever the voltage you're trying to measure, up to 30 volts. But you've got to have enough supply going in to power the meter. So there's a mod I've done on it. There is actually 3 terminals, so you have to remove a 0 ohm link off the back, wire extra wire to the in pin, and you provide 12 volts to power the circuit. Then your in pin, then it does the sampling of whatever the voltage, so it'll alter. So in reality, if we're measuring the pulse width modulation 0 to 5 volts, possibly we can see, you can see a value there on the pulse width modulation, and you should be, yeah, you can attach that all the wires so you can see what the control board in software is giving out, pulse width modulation. Whether whether it needs to be a pure DC to measure it, I don't know. We'll find out when we come to test it and wire it. Hopefully it'll work. If not, it's just going to be a case of measuring the part, or we'll come in for something else. Anyway, there's a lot of wiring to do between now and then. So what we're going to do tonight is I'm going to put the camera back on, the room camera, and I'm going to be working live, fitting this panel and chopping in the wiring. And once we've chopped the wiring in, there's going to be a lot. I don't think I'll get it finished tonight, but I'll get a lot of progress done. Yesterday, off camera, I created all the wires and crimps to the back of all the switches and LEDs, and so it's all pre-wired. I'll show you that in a second. Alright then, so yeah, so that's caught up on that. Let's just go over to this one. How do you do? Right, so here's the panel, and there's a lot of wires that come with them. Right, so because I've done print some labels out, tiny little labels, just like the picture, because I can't laser it because we need the laser working to be able to laser it. And the problem is I'd have to take it all apart to put this in and laser it, and I might want to change the design anyway. So anyway, that's what the back looks like. Full up of all different wires. Everything's wired, even the potentiometer and the meters, everything's wired. The only thing that's not wired is the main supply in pin, because that's on a separate wire already wired. So I'm going to put that in now, clamp it in and feed the wires towards the back. So let's get on with it. So I'm going to have to put that down for a minute. Okay, now this is this tricky bit. So I've got stuff balancing on it, so I'm going to have to move my tubes. We've got this power supply here. Whenever we do this, we've got to spin the whole thing around. So I've got a lot of... Oh, I've just realised as well. You know, I just realised I've got these plugs for the switches that push on so you can wire to them. And you know what I've just realised? I've realised I've pushed spade things on it. I didn't. So I could have just put them on. Oh well. Never mind. I forgot. So just clearing some space. Clearing a bit of space. Alright, we want some space. Definitely need a bit of space. Whoops. Over heavy. Clearing a bit of space. Right, now this tricky bit. I've got to spin the whole thing round now without trapping anything. So let's try and do that. Try and spin the whole thing round without anything getting in the way, and this is getting heavier and heavier and heavier. So let's give it a go. I need it all the way around. So the front panel is here. This is the back. I need the front panel around this side. So I hope I'm not going to pull me back out. I've got some cables hanging here. I've got to tuck them out of the way a minute. Right, here we go. Oh my god. Oh dear. Right. Okay. I wish I'd have made it smaller really, but it's a big one. Right. Jesus. So I've got to take this off because this is not going to fit this panel. I'll just slide this over that way a bit. So I'll do that first. If I can find them. Right, so we've got two lots going on here. Right, I'm getting spammed by eBay. It's trying to tell me that I've sold something. I haven't. New offer from seller. Act fast. No thanks. Not at the minute. So I don't need to touch that one. Why am I doing that one? Don't need to touch that one. I need to undo this. I need to slide that over. And this one's a different size because I ran out of these. So it's going to look really cool once the panel goes in. Alright, my chair is not moving. That's because I've got a mains cable underneath the wheel. Righty ho. So I need to undo them. I've got a bit of, see how that slides around. Yeah, that's pretty good like that. Now the problem is now I still can't get the panel in, so I've got to drop this one down in order to get it in, so I am going to literally have to I think I'll leave that where it is. Yeah, I'll leave that where it is. I'll take this out. Yeah, so I've got to drop this end down enough to get the panel in. I wasn't going to do a live stream tonight, but I better do one. I better do some work on it. Otherwise, it's going to drag on and on and on. I've almost got as many videos for this as I had on the Amigas. Almost. And this was only supposed to be one thing, so can I push that down? Yeah, just about. Right, here it goes then. So we're going to transplant this lot into there now. Here we go. Let's transplant this into the front. Now the cables are going to go down the side, so I really could do with passing it through. Passing it through here, really, like this. That's where all the cables are going to go. Right. Let's see if we can get it in. Yeah, he's in. Okay. So I've just got to push that back in there now. Slide that over there like that. And just stick that back where it needs to go. Can't actually see the top label, but that's just a bit of the label. Right, let's see if I can get this back in here. Welcome to another stream. This is, took that long off. Can't remember what I was going to do with it. What was I going to do with it? Oh, make some of them plastics. Make some plastics. Cut some plastic. Do you know you can cut plastic with a saw, you know? So why do you need all this? Now what I've got to do is I've got to make sure that's still even. Yeah, it's about there, isn't it? Yeah. Right, let's fasten this up. So the good thing about wiring stuff up is at some point all these wires will disappear. You'll get rid of them bit by bit, then you'll know when you finish because you'll have no wires left. All the wires will be gone. So I'm going to push that over this way like that and tighten these up. Alright, HF radio, nothing on the HF radio at the minute because, well, there is a bit on tonight actually, but the last few nights it's been, last few weeks actually it's been totally dead. Would I build another one? Would I do all this again? If I had the money, I wouldn't. I'd just buy one. But if you haven't got the money, what are you going to do? Anyway, so it's in. That's it. And there's a bit of a gap because it's a 6mm gap. And I've only got 1mm aluminium plate, so what I was thinking of doing is milling out a little bit of a, could use some of this and just push it in. I'll mill a frame out, it'll go around it and it'll just pack it out. pack it out a bit. So what does it look like? I'm not sure. Doesn't seem to light up, but yeah. According to that meter, it's 25.6 degrees in here. Could be. Could be. Right, anyway, so what's next? We've got to feed. Now, I thought about feeding this cable. It's got to go to the back corner. And there's this place here for clips to go. Now I have got some spare clips that I've found, saved from the dustbin somewhere. Some spare clips, some weird clips off that. Where have I done with them? Can't see them. What have I done with them? Not here, so that's strange. Very strange. Clips, clips, clips. Where are you? Clips, clips, clips. Must be in this top drawer. Just haven't pulled it out enough. No. Right. What have I done with them? Oh, I can't find them. Can't find them. Oh well. Won't be using them then. Right. So we need to get these wires, this load of wire, all the way over to the end. So I would like to split the high voltage from the low voltage. So how can we do it? Bit of, not sure. Let's see. How can we get them in? Possibly might be a struggle. I've got a bit of reclaimed trunking somewhere. A little bit of reclaimed trunking. I might leave that till after. If I use trunking, I can always slide the wires in. If it's in a conduit, then I can't, because I'll have to unwire it to pass it through the conduit. I've got a bit of a problem, so we need to lose this end now while we concentrate on moving these wires down the side. So I'm going to have to move the whole thing round. Yeah, so it needs to be sticking out here. But then I'll need to somehow take a strain relief off this into the channel here. So I could do with something like a cable tie. Let's have a look what we got left. What we got left? I've got these little L things which we never really used. These little L bow things, so they could go. They could be fastened to the top, but then you still need to fasten to the side. So, right, so it's them. What did I do with all those little bits? I've got a bag of these things. Some kind of plates, weird plates. I've got fish plates. I'm not sure if they'll be any use now. They won't be any use for nothing. So I'm missing those things. I put them around here. Maybe I put them around there. there. I seem to have lost them. Lost them. Put them somewhere and can't find them. Right. Can I put them over here? Nope. All gone. We've got some spiral wrap in here. 2 bags of spiral wrap, black and night transparent. So we could just wrap them in there. That'll take a while to wrap it though. I think I'll concentrate on wiring it. Or it's a bit of a problem. You've got to hold it in place so you can work out what size to cut the wires to. So you're going to have to thread it through. And I've also got a bit of this. Now this is probably too big. This is drag chain, a lot bigger than the one I've used on it. This is another piece of reclaimed stuff. And it's way too big, but you can still use it as trunking. Turn it over, you could use it as trunking. Like that. But there's nowhere for that big thing to go inside here, and the sides have got to fit on, so that's not going to work. So that won't be working. So, I've got to, what did I do with those little clips? It's bugging me, that is. Got to find them clips. Got to find the clips. Right at the bottom. So, let's get rid of some wire in a bit. Give them some space. They've got to be here somewhere. They've got to be here. Unless I was dreaming. Maybe I was dreaming. Maybe I didn't really have any clips. Not in there. Maybe I was dreaming. I was in London. Not in there. Not in there. No, nothing there. So, it's a mystery. It's a mystery. Where did I put them? Where did I put them? No. No. Okay. Well, I'll have to stand up for this. What did I do with them? What did they do with the drunken sailor? No, nothing. Nothing there. Oh well. Nope. Totally disappeared. Anyway, I should check my Euro Millions, see if I'm a multi-millionaire. Right, they've gone. Gone to Davy Jones's locker. Yeah. Davy Jones's locker. The only trouble is that's my locker. There they go. Right, so there's no luck on that. That's a shame. Ah, Do you know something? I think I know where they are. Just hold on a second. Wait a minute. Now wait a minute. Right. I'll be back in a second. Have a look at this. Back in a second. Well, I can get the clips. Now do I go and get some reclaimed trunking? Yeah. Let's go. I'll be back in a second. Have an interim. Alright. Right, so I found the clips. Now these are saved from the scrap bin. Right, so I've got these weird little clips. They're saved from a scrap bin. They come with something we use, and they always supply more than what you need for some reason. And they're just little square clips with a hole in, stainless steel. What I've got is a bit of reclaimed, bit of dirty reclaimed trunking lead. It's been used. I think I must have unwired something and thought, well, it's too good to throw away. So it's been used, but I think I could clean it up a bit maybe. So now I'm thinking, will one of these clips clip over this, for instance? Yeah, it does. Look at that. It clips that way, and yeah. So it does clip over it, or but the alternative, you want what you want to do is you could do with that being like that flat, and then you can push this in, but then it's got to not occupy too much space. So it's got to sit on the lid. And it's only got to occupy one of the, yeah, that'll work, because the runner is still there for the, well, it's too long obviously, so I think I'll clean that up a little bit first, and I'll have to cut it to size. Let's get a bit of a wet wipe or something. Probably isopropyl alcohol's better, isn't it? Tell you what, let's get a, have I got any alcohol here? No, I think I've moved it all out of the way. Right, never mind, let's just use a wet wipe. Use a couple of wet wipes. Does stink as well. Stinks because it's been on in industrial application for a while. So I'm just going to clean all the shit off. Some marks on it. It is reclaimed. I'll just clean it up a bit. It's better than buying it though, isn't it? It's better than buying a piece, only one small piece. I've had this bloody for ages. Should have thrown it out. It does stink though. Stinks of old oil, like my engine oil. Yeah, it stinks like a bit of old engine oil. Oh, I'll have to chop. It's bigger than the room. This is actually bigger than the room. Well, I think that's enough. Right, let's get rid of that there. Okay, so we're going to have to chop this now into pieces. So we can either do it by measuring it on here, which is bigger than the room, so that's not going to work. So what I can do, I've also got this stuff here. Also got this stuff, these aluminiums. They're sort of like cable trays. Yeah, these are reclaimed as well. Everything's reclaimed. It's like a hoarder, but is it hoarding if you're going to use it at some point? Right, well, I can use that as a ruler to see what size we've got to cut it to. I'm going to have a sip. Let me have a sip. It's getting warm in here. Might have to put the fan on. Can we start the fans, please? Now the seat is on my cable, and the metal's falling all over me. I could do with a workshop, you know. Right, how am I going to cut this plastic without going down and activating a saw? Let's have a think. Well, that's the measurement. It's got to go from here, not all the way because it needs to get in there. So into there, into the trunking. So it needs to be about that big. Let's get a marker pen. Like I say, what I could do with the high and low voltage not being together really. So let's get this marked up about there. That's it. Right, so how to saw that without a saw? Oh, I might have a saw. I might have one here, not too sure. Let's have a look. Do we have a little hacksaw in this drawer? Any hacksaws? Got a mirror. don't use a styling knife. Oh, 2 mirrors. Found 2 mirrors. 2 mirrors. Right, so 9 there. Right, so where else? No, none in there. Well, I'll tell you what. I might have to disappear again and go and chop it. So I want 2 like that. Yeah, that actually fit. Probably fit all them in one actually. Okay, so let's have a think about it. Chop that plastic. No, I'll have to go and come back. So I'm going to disappear again for. I'll leave you on. Leave you on this one. Back soon. Okay, I'm back. Oh, dear me. What's this going on? Right, so I've got 2 and a bit lengths out of it. So discard the odd length for now. So we've got 2 of these reclaimed. They do stink. I don't know how to get rid of the smell. They stink of old engine oil. Probably come out of some installation that was running for a long time, many years. Anyway, let's see if we can. Should be able to put them like that. I'm thinking it'd be nice to be able to take the lids off and then push the wires in and put the lid on. Low voltage and high voltage if possible, or maybe just the one. Using these clips that can go sideways on like that. Now they would fit like that, and I'm not sure if the weight of the cables, no, the weight of the cable should be okay. Oh, I'll tell you what I could do, turn it round maybe, put the clip upside down and just push the thing up, and if you want to pull it down to reveal the wires, you can just unclip it, so they can be fastened to the rail, as in there's a piece of extruded aluminium, so just put a T-nut in there, and there's not much space though, and then that can be fastened with 2 or 3 of them or 4 of them up in this row here. So, the only problem is I'm short of the right type of low profile M5. The ones I got cap head on them. So you could lose the lid. Lose the lid altogether. It doesn't actually, this lid doesn't pull off easy. No, it sort of slides on instead, so that's a shame. How do you get it off? Oh, you have to squeeze the sides and it comes off, so yeah. Okay, so imagine if that's a trough, that's fastened to the top, and you push it over, and does it hold it with enough clip pressure? Sort of. Yeah, it does actually. So they can just sit in the trough, the cables can. Okay, so yeah, and I'll be able to get a cap head nut in there. The problem is I haven't got any small ones left with enough thread, so I'd have to have a nut on it, and then that would obscure the cables coming through. So not a good idea, really. So alternative idea. What's an alternative? Got all stuff all over me. Alternative idea. I need to get this turned around now, I think. Yeah. Let's turn that around. To move it around there. Really need a workshop for all this game. Right, anyway. Let's bring it around. Slowly. It's coming with it for some reason. Oops. Ah, God. Right, so sort of need it as close as I can. This is where all the wiring in is going to go on, and this is where it comes through here. Now I'm a bit top heavy, so I'm going to have to put some counterweight on it. Bits of counterweight. Let's put some counterweight, nuts and bolts. That's it. Oh my God. Anyway, so the idea is to set this trough. Hang on, the cables are everywhere now. Right, let's get these cables over here. The cables have got to come this way into the trough and then up this way. So the trough, the cable tray is going to go something like. Now I've made a bit of a mistake because I've nicked a piece of space with this bracket for the connector block, so I might have to shorten this again, or I might have to go with the shorter one. Let's have a look. Yeah. I'm going to have to go with the shorter one. Luckily I got this piece that's shorter, so it's hard work this is. Alright, so that's going to have to go something like this, It needs to carry the cables either sideways, preferably. Something like this. I'll fasten it just there, and nothing's going to get in the way of that. So, right, what do? Let's just see if it'll even fit in. See if there's enough room for them for a start. Just about. Won't be able to split the high and low voltage, but never mind. Yeah, it just fit in. Fits in okay, look. Yeah. Right, I'm very thirsty. Why did I start this time of night? I've been to work all day. I must be mad, and this fan's it's not doing the business, it's pointing down. That's it, you keep going. Oh, I see that, that's a good fan. Be a good fan. Right, so where's that clip gone? So I've got this clip. I can either do it like that. So that's a good way of doing it, but it just squash the cables, squash them in. Squash the beetles, squash them. So I don't know. Unless that can that be clipped over top of here? Let's get that bit of aluminium back. Try all sorts of stuff. So, yes, it can be clipped over. Yeah, they're pretty good, those clips. They're okay. I don't know. I'm just trying stuff. So, is that hole even big enough for an M5? Let's try that first. Let's get an M5. Of course, the M5s are all on the bottom. The bottom pack of nuts, of course they are. Right, so we've got the M5s, and I'm short of short fittings, so I've got these things. I'm almost out of short fittings, so, and it won't go in anyway. Look, the hole will have to be drilled. I'm not going to drill stainless, can't be bothered. So it'll be an M4. So where's that gone? Here it is. So let's try something else. So that could go into there. I could put an M4 nut and bolt in there, and then that would have to somehow fasten on. No, it's not going to do it. It needs to fasten on like that. It needs to go on like that, really. Right. So how about if I put a fish plate across it, bolt it to a fish plate, and then clip that on? It could get clips on there. There's nothing. Oh no, you can't, because we're having a lid inside there, so that can't go. So it's got to literally screw into the V. So I'm gonna have to lose. Right, this is problemo. Right, what else have we got? So what we've got plenty of these. We've got a whole bag of these triangles. Can anything be done with them? Let's try a triangle. So, right, that goes up like that. Oh, if I scratch my arm, yeah, scratch my arm again. Doesn't matter what you do with this, you always scratch your arm on it. So that could be fastened to the roof, and that could be fastened to the side, but then it will stick out too far and stop me having a sliding door on it. So we need to do what with it? It needs to... Oh, I'm going to have to drill a hole in the top. Yeah, drill a hole in the top of this, put a nut in and fasten it up with a T-nut, yeah. then we can slide the lid on it. So we don't really need, if we need some space in, we could put a nut on. Yeah, because they're too long anyway, aren't they? Right, okay, I've got a plan. Hold on a minute, I've had an idea. I've 10 ideas a day, 9 are crazy, and 1 is pretty good. Right, so what have we got? Wires. We've got these ones here, there's not quite enough. Maybe we need some of the next lines up. So 1, 2, 4 of them. Is 4 too much? Probably 3 is enough, isn't it? Let's just do 3. 3 of them. Okay, and we want to drill a hole and put that in the top of there. We can just about lose one. We are compromising the wiring space just a little bit. Or it could go like that. It go like that, but then you need some way to go up. So I need to drill a hole in the top. So I'll drill 1, 2, 3 holes. I can drill into that with my hand drill. And we'll put the nut in there like that. And a nut on top for spacing. Give us enough room. We're going to have to, yeah, these are too long, way too long. So it's going to have to sit down a bit. Oh yeah, can't sit down too much. Can't sit down too much because you've got this wheel. So we can only sit down a little bit like that. This might be enough. Right, let's drill some holes. So put the screws there for a bit. Looks a lot like we're going to use those clips after all. Right, let's get the. I'm running out of space. I'd have to be outside the room working with the long arms at some point in the future. Right. Okay. So that'll do as one. I'll try and drill it. Let's hope this stuff doesn't shatter. It is old. So I'll just go along with the holes that are there for now. Let's put one in here. Oh, goes through like butter. Just like butter. That's one. Let's put one in the middle. Okay, and one more at the end. Alright, now next size up. Needs to get 5mm. That's not going to be 5mm, it's going to be smaller. Whew, it's warm today. It's going to be warm tomorrow, someone said, 24 degrees. Alright, so we can go all the way with a 5mm. I'll put a 5mm in this one. Seeing as it's so easy to drill with a pin drill holder. Little chuck. I think I've had this for ages, this chuck. Alright. Let's just open these L's up. That's one. I'm going to have to get the Hoover out again in a minute. 2. That's just easy. Okay. Right, put the fitting in. How am I going to tighten them? That's a point. I've got to get an Allen key in to tighten them. So I'm going to have to drill another hole the opposite end. And I'll tell you what, I'll just push it in and drill straight through. Keep it parallel. I should go down the size of the drill really. I can't be bothered to swap them again. It's quite easy to cut. Yeah, that's done. so I can get the Allen key through to tighten it up. Right, that's the second one. Now last one. Last one. Okay. Right, that's it. Okay, I've got all bits all over me now. And the floor's getting layered with stuff. We'll have to hoover up again. Right, so I'll put this in here. It's not going to be easy because it's wider than the hole, which is a big problem. Look at that. I've got no smaller ones. Pliers, get the pliers. Long nose pliers. Push it in. I've made it the exact same size as the thread, which doesn't give me any leeway at all. Oh, there we go, we're in. So what I'll do is I'll put a nut on there now. Let's put a nut on. I've got plenty of spare nuts just to hold it up there and give it some space here. And it'll twist, it'll still twist on there, like a bit of twist. Just stops it falling around. So the idea is that goes into the groove on the back, and it's, yeah, okay, you can just about do that, and it keeps away from the belt and the pulley. Right, let's do another one. Yeah, if you've got the money, 2.5 grand, 3 grand, just buy yourself a laser. Save all that hard labour. I've actually forgotten what it is I'm building it for now. I just can't remember. That's what I've had to append to every K40 stream on the description. What it is I'm doing, in case I forget. Well, that one looks bigger than that one. Is that bigger than that one? I've got two different sizes here. Oh, I've got two different sizes. No. No, they're right. It just looks different size. Right, they stink. These stink of old engine oil. I could do with putting some bleach on it or something. It's horrible stink. Mind you, the whole thing's going to smell once you start cutting plastic anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Right, I've had enough. I've cheesed off. I'm fed up with this job. Fed up with this. Fed up with this now, fed up. Fed up with it. Just want to finish it. I'm sick of it. Sick of it. Sick of this job. I want to rest. Oh, I've watched the complete series of Dexter in the last couple of weeks. If you haven't watched it, you want to watch it, it's alright. Right, so I've got 3 little prongs. I should be able to put T-nut in there now. And fasten it in to there, like that. And cables at the front, and it still makes everything. Yeah, so I took all the wires in there. Hopefully. And there's enough room at either end to bring them around. Or down and under, yeah. Right, so what's next? T-nut. That's the height of that. Then we want the T-nut. Now the T-nut will try to screw in, won't it? Does it matter now? Right, let's get some T-nuts. T-nuts, where are you, T-nuts? T-nuts. Can't find the T-nuts. not having much luck finding things today. Right, so why can't I find the T-nuts? They were here where I checked last. T-nuts. I swear there's an alien who comes in here, moves stuff while I'm sleeping. It was while you were sleeping. Well, there's no T-nuts now. No T-nuts. Where they go? What have we done with the T-nuts? I don't know what I've done with the T-nuts. Pack of T-nuts, anyone? I'm going slightly mad. It's finally happened. It's finally happened. Internet streamer goes crazy. Live on stream. Right, I can't find them. Too much stuff. Too much pressure on this pressure stuff. There, let me see. Well, I can't find the T-nuts. I've not used them all. I was using them the other day. I cannot find the T-nuts. Where are the T-nuts? T-nuts. No T-nuts. Got wheels. I put them all in this drawer normally. No T-nuts. Where are our T-nuts? Can I find? Ah, I found them. They're here. Blinded. I only need 3. I haven't got many left. Only got a few left now. You need 100 T-nuts for this job, by the way. Right, I'll shut this door. Okay. So this is all the mundane stuff. All the mundane. So if I tighten that up like that, that's going to hit the top and push that nut down and hold it still. Give me a bit of clearance to get the lid on. Should do. And I can pack all those wires in there, stuff the lid on, hold it back with a shovel, give the instruction to put the lid on, please. Right, so I've got the T-nuts. I've got to find that one now. The yellow one to tighten the T-nuts. Yeah, spin them around. Right, here we go. Line them all up, ready to go in the slot. Push it in the slot. Alright, are we in? Not quite. Not quite. Come on. You can do it. You can go in there, just tap it in. Tap, tap, tap it in. Right, we're in. We're in like Flynn. Now I've got to tighten it up, but I need to go up here a bit more first. And then tighten it up. So just tighten it up. Tap it in. Now the Allen key, I need to be Is there such a thing as not left-handed, not right-handed, something else? This job needs to be something else. You've got to hold the thing up, stop it tipping over. The Allen key is too long to get through, so you're going to have to inch it. Struggle, struggle, struggle. Torture, torture, torture. You're a talker. Talking makes me thirsty. Oh God, I can't let go. I'll drop my Allen key. If I let go, it'll all fall out. Torture, this is real torture. Anyway, it better be worth it after all this trouble. Should have done the middle one first, to hold it up by the middle. Help! Help, I need somebody. Oh no, I've dropped it again. Torture. Torture, torture, torture. Oh, it's starting to go tight. Amazing. Amazing, amazing, it's gone tight. Alright, this is what I need to go over this way now. I'll do the next one. Torture, torture. It's red hot in this room, even with the fan. I have to migrate down the stairs. It's on! One more up the other end. Now do I dare move the chair up? Not really. What's the stream? Let's see if we've got audio. Why not? Let's just see if we've got some audio. We've got audio.
Is that a question?
Right.
Yes. The question is futile.
Last one. You can do it if you're being cute. Have you been to B&Q lately? Cost a fortune for a nut and bolt. £10 for 10 nuts and bolts. And 3. Right, so we're alright, we've got it in. What I'll do is I'll just tighten the little nuts. Oh, I'm running out of space. Right, let's tighten the nut with just this one, or do I use an adjustable spanner? Where are you, adjustable spanner? Where have you gone? There it is. Right, adjustable spanner. Tighten the nut. Not a lot, just enough. Right there. Is it tight? That one's tight. Next one. That's tight. That's tight. There we go. Right. Ah, dear. Yeah. Medication time. Oh no. Drink time. I deserve a drink. I need something stronger for this kind of work. Orange squash doesn't cut the mustard. Right, so I've got our cable, all similar colours. How the hell am I going to know which cable's which? I have no idea. Right, so let's push it in. So we've got to also send our mains cable up that way as well. So that's one to remember. One to remember. Pre-wired the mains cable, so we've got to cut this cable tie. Alright, let's do this. Whew, it's warm here. Right, so that's going to come underneath and in. Oh, this is going to be a real pain to do. That's going to go there, like that. Oh, can't go around there because there's a. It ought to go round and through really. So fetch that back out again. Fetch it back out. Can't go that way. It's got to go up and over. Up and over. Welcome to the live stream. Dave Jones is building himself a laser. Why? Because he's crazy. Foolish. Who is the more foolish? The fool or the fool who follows him? It's so funny. You're a very funny guy. That's why I'm going to kill you last. Right, anyway. I seem to be stuck. This is where you wish you'd have made them a bit longer. I think I left enough on them. Hello there. What on earth is going on here? Help. Help. Right, are we okay? Are we good to go? Not quite. What on earth is happening here? What have I done here? Help. Help, I need somebody. Just anybody. Help. You know, need someone. Alright. Okay. I've got a bit of this discrepancy here, some twisting that's going on. Alright, so just to go like that, and that one. Alright, so I've got a bit of a weirdness happening here. Okay, so there we go. Right, so them four go up there like that. Now the other ones have got to come down this way, so I have to get them around there. They need to go in there like that, and then they all pop out. I wonder if I could stick a cable tie through there. Probably no room for a cable tie. Whew. Right, I can put them away now before they spill. Uncle, your drinks spill. You spill your drink. Nephew, you drink. You spill your drink. It did not spill. Let's find out what ChatGPT knows about the word spill. Here we go. As if by accident. Spill. Spill. Right, what's it saying about the word spill? Hey, could you clarify what you mean by spill? That's what I'm asking you for. Are you asking for a confession or gossip? Oh, spill the tea. Help clean up. Right. The meaning of spill. What is the meaning of spill? The word spill has several meanings depending on context. Here are the main ones. Literal meaning, physical spill. Verbal, to accidentally, it's an accident. Accidentally let a liquid or substance flow or fall out of a container. Example, she spilled coffee on the table. Noun, to act or result of something spilling. There was a milk spill in the kitchen. Figuratively, slang, spill is a spill the tea or spill the beans. It means to reveal the secret or gossip. Okay. Other uses, spill in computing, situation where data overflows. Yeah. Spill in environments. Yeah, right. Okay. Spill in Game of Thrones. Got. It knows what got is. The context of Game of Thrones, the word spill appears in one of these phrases. Literal blood spill. Spill blood is a common phrase now. Spill the secrets. Joffrey. You're referring to Joffrey Baratheon, often called Joffrey, one of the most infamous characters in Game of Thrones. If you're asking about spill in relation to Joffrey, here are two main interpretations that might be relevant. Spill blood, Joffrey's violence. Spills. No, it's not doing it. Refers to Tyrion saying you spilt your mead. No, that makes perfect sense. You're referring to the scene where Tyrion Lannister tells Joffrey, you spilled your mead. Maybe. This line happened during a tense moment of Game of Thrones, Series 1, Episode 4, Cripples. Joffrey recovered from Arya's direwolf attack. After tormenting the sulky, Tyrion confronts him at breakfast and mockery calls out Joffrey's count and fake toughness. Joffrey tries to act strong, but Tyrion isn't. When Tyrion says you spilled your mead, it's not just a literal, it's also a jab, meaning Joffrey accidentally spilled his drink, likely cause angry or figuratively. Power dynamic. Tyrion, the clever, sharp-tongued uncle, reminds Joffrey that no, there's just nothing to do with it. Another scene. Memorable meaning of Game of Thrones. Joffrey wedding feast. That's it. He humiliates Tyrion in front of the entire court, forcing him to serve wine and mocking him and cruel jokes. But then Joffrey starts choking after drinking the wine. As Joffrey collapses and dies, blood spill. One of them says the exact word spill in that scene. No. Figurative. No, it's not. You're not quite finding it. No. Before the joking. Got it, yeah. See where Joffrey chokes on a purple wedding. It's confused. It's cupbearer forcing him to pour wine and served him like a servant. Tyrion brings in the wine. Joffrey smirks and says, "Careful, uncle, you might spill it." No, he doesn't say that. He warned Tyrion not to physically spill. Mockery is a taunt. Tyrion's clumsy. Foreshadowing is alright because Tyrion serves in the poison wine. No, none of that. Oh well. Anyway, break over. Okay, where do we get to? Right, where do we get to? Pushing them wires in there. Right, let's go ahead and push the wires in there. I'm not sure this is going to be big enough, but give it a go. Oh my god, am I joking? Am I joking here? I think no, we haven't got enough room for another one. So we've lost the space at the top. So we could tie wrap. Problem. Too many wires. don't think I'll get them all in. That is a shame. That's a damn shame is what it is. It's a damn shame. How can I do this then? How about if I put two together? I'll never get the cable through. That passes through two of them. Can I get all them in? Tight fit. Very tight fit, especially with these in as well. I don't know. I'm a bit worn out now. Bit worn out now. 1 hour, 1.5 hours. Getting there. We've put the front panel on. It'd be nice to get these wires in and the lid on. I don't think I'll be able to do it now. So I might be able to, I don't know. I need to do them in pairs, otherwise I'll have to bell them. So I can put the probe one end and then, yeah, I can soon find out where they go to. I'm too tired there. Too tired. Been to work all day. Right, so bite the bullet and stuff them in. Yeah, I think so. Right, so the problem I've got now is they have to come all the way round and they bend round, and that's the problem. Right, let's try again. If at first you do not succeed, you've got to keep on trying. I'll tell you what, I'll cheat a bit, put a little cable tie around it and then cut the ties off after. Right, let's do that. Let's put some ties. So what colour? They're not big enough. Not big enough. How about some, not ties, bits of wire. How about bits of wire? Where are the bits of wire? Offcuts of wire. Or rope. What rope have I got? Oh, that's a bit too big. Shit. Oh, God, it's red hot in this room, you know. I have to open the door, there's some air in here. God almighty. It's red hot. Look at 25 degrees. Right. Trunking could have been, well, it can't be any bigger, it could be higher. How about if I put the mains at the top, it won't be in an insulation. I don't know. Nightmare. Bit of a nightmare, you know. Oh, I've got something in my drink. What was that? How did a bit of plastic end up in... Oh, it's a bit of drilling. Drilling must have flicked out. Alright. Can I twist this way a bit? Or is it all going to tip off? No, it's all going to tip off. I don't know, I'm going to do this. What have I got? Spiral wrap. I could put the mains in spiral wrap. That's okay that way, and it's okay this way. So with the lid on, you should still be able to get the lid on, yeah. I'll just have to try and stuff it in. Just have to go for it. Would have been better if all the wiring was in the plate and everything. We'll have to turn it around then. I don't know. Does it matter? Oh, too hot to carry on. Anyway, let's try. Now, if I stuff it in there and I get to there, it's going to come out again. So what I need is some way of tying it in. Right, what about if I put the lid on? Stuff the lid on. I'll tell you what I'll do. Why don't I just thread them through 2 at a time with the lid on? Let's put the lid on and just thread them through. They can't go anywhere, they can't fall out there. It's not even going on now. Where's the way? No, it's not going on. The wire is in the way. Keep them tight. Oh, it's down on the floor. Our life is a misery. We're on there. We're on there. And we're on there. So we're all on. So we've got to feed them 2 at a time in. That's going to be difficult. Very difficult. Or I make the lid into bits. Cut the lid into 2 pieces. Do half at a time. Maybe. Well, I don't know what to do. I need it facing this way really. Can I face it this way? Let's try. It's probably gonna all go tits up. As in, look at that now, it's teetering on the brink. Need something heavy on the back of it. Oh, unless I just whiz it round a little bit. Whiz it round. Oops. Yeah, I can do that. Whiz it round there. That's. Oh, what have I just squashed? Right, okay, so that's staying there for a minute. So, okay, so now I can concentrate and get this in here. Probably be easier if this was in 2 or 3 bits, but right, let's try. Let's do a few at a time. So we'll start with the top ones. Start with these ones here. All interlocked. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's okay. Now the next lot. Next lot. They're all tangled up now. It's all weaving itself. Good. Hit it there. Right, nearly. Okay. It's a trouble using bits and pieces. Right, next row. Okay. Oh no, they're all coming out. Problemo. Right, next row. That one there. Right, so we're in. Sort of in. Oh god, we've got all these yet. Shit. Is this a physical impossibility? Maybe. Might be a physical impossibility, this. Could possibly be physically impossible. Right, how much room have we got in there? Oh, there's still a bit of room left. If you push it. Right, so I've got all this malarkey. All this malarkey. Just about get it in, maybe. You won't want to get an extra one in after, put it that way. Right, so I need to slot the door on. Slot the lid on now. Try and put the lid on. How am I going to do that? Not easy. No, it's not going on easy. Whew, right, probably need to tie it. I think tie it wasn't big enough, I don't think. Pretty sure it's not big enough tie. Might be able to do it. Just about. Yeah, it's just about gone. Oh, I better tie. That's it. Oh, is it even working? It's just pushing itself off. I have these ties for years. Failed these ties. Failed. Right, so I've got all the cables, but that's not. I'll have to put another one on. It's not holding it. Let's put two. What a game, isn't it? Hey, game. Alright, let's put two on. Try and hold it in. That one, the first one just fell off. Right. Okay, it's there. Let's get another two. Let's put the lid on, put these off after. Nightmare. Bit of a nightmare. Right, let's keep them in. Gotta get in to get the lid on. Nightmare. Oh well, it's going slowly. That's all the space I've got, so can't do much else with it. No more space. The design is very small, space-wise. I've got to get these in there. Like that. It's going to go in. Drink time. Doesn't look too bad like that, but I'll get the lid on. So if I can get it on there, I'll have to cut one at a time, get the lid on, try to push it all in. Right. Right, one more lot at the end. Lots of wiring. Right, so that's all there, so that's going to go somewhere, probably in and up. Yeah, it's going to go in and over for now. Okay, still a problem. Right, I've got to try to manipulate this and get all these cables in somehow. Keep pressing it and pushing it, tightening. So going into there somewhere. Okay. Now Is there any space? Not a lot of space. It's just too many cables, I think. So what I'll do, if I cable tie that over, that's a good idea. Do it in sections. Cable tie the lid on in sections. Once it snaps on, it will stay on, I'm sure it will. So cable tie the lid on. And cut the other ones off. Go along slowly. Cut the other ones off as I tighten the lid. Let the ties do the work. Can't see what I'm doing. Right, so I'll put that in there like that. Across there. Into there. Whew. To get it as close as I can, and I can force it on and go across. And basically I've got a couple, 2 wires too many I think, but I've got a lot of it accounted for. Alright, 2 more. Two more at the end. Right, so I've got the lid over. Sip a drink, get a sip. Right, the trick now is to take the cable tie off. I'll first get this as tight as I can, so just none of the cables fall down. Right, and then I've got to cut, start from one end, cut the cable tie off. Remove the cable tie. Try to push the lid on. Not easy. Not easy considering there's a lot of wires in, so we'll start from the top. Start from the top. Push the bottom in. Force it on. No, it's not having it. Right, so I've got probably 1 or 2 wires too many. Tell you what, let's cut that next time in case that's holding it off. Yeah, not much room. The wires, underestimated the amount of wires needed. So I'll start from the top. That's just one mass of wires. about if I use pipe spanners. No, they're downstairs, so can't use them. Right. So I need to just push that up there. Well, it's not easy. Nah, it's not going. Must be one wire too many. Ah. I could leave the ties on, but it looks a bit messy. What a shame. Damn shame. Nothing's easy, is it? Nothing is easy. Nothing easy. Ooh la la. Right. So it's in place. It's just like there's one wire too many. Or probably there's too many wires. Too much of an axis on it. I can't even pull them now, there's that many in there. No, I can't pull them. It's literally just a gnat's whisker. That's a shame. Damn shame. I don't know what to do. I'm at a loss. At a loss. What do I do? Don't want to lose no wires. I need them all. Need all the wires. Just need to get that lid on. Tell you what, give me a second, I'll go and get the pipe spanner and see if I can squeeze it on. Back in a second. Right, got some pipe spanners. Let's see if I can jimmy it in. I think the it's not going. It's not going because probably there's enough twists bulking it out. So the other way is to do a couple at a time and get them all packed up. Not easy when you've got plenty of them. How about if I squeeze first? Maybe I need to squeeze the other way. That's it. Squeeze the other way to squeeze the two parts together. Then put the lid on. And I can do it this way. And squeeze them in. No. Well, it's just too many. Dear me. Oh my god, it's just too many. Right. Think, David, think. So it has to come up here and then switch on the power over there. So it's definitely got to do that. Unless I put the mains, I'll tell you what, I'll bite the bullet. I've had a go and I've tried it, it didn't work. So I'll cut them off. I'll stick the mains in a bit of black trunk. Let's take this off. Take that lid off for a minute. Alright, so lid is off. Cut all this out of here. Put the mains feed in a separate thing. Plastic conduit shit. Oh, all my discs are going now. Smashing all my discs up. Smash a beetle, smash them. Smash them. So a piece of this stuff. Got bloody loads of this, loads of this. So I want to get from there to there, like that. Get the blade. Cut it in. I want to get from there to there, that's all. Okay. Right. I'll stick the mains in there, so we'll get the mains out of it. Get all these back out again. Okay. So we just want the mains. Here's the mains. Put all the ends on. I'm never going to get them ends through there, am I? Shit. Let's try it. Let's give it a go. Might be able to if I stagger them. Oh, it's going. It's going. Whoa, it's done. That'll come up over the top. The problem is I won't get my... Gotta get the slidey on. slidey door on now. I'm not going to get the slidey door on now. So that goes in there like that. Right, so I'll leave that off for a minute. Like that. Let's get these in. See if I can get them in now. Just all this signals. Might just get it in there. Stands a better chance now. Only got rid of 4 cables. Of course you've got the stud to go over. Right, let's go there. Dear me. I need 10 pairs of hands. Right, so if I put that in there, I'll push that over, are we in? Yeah. Oh, sort of. Right, we're clicked in. Push it on. Problem is now where the little that high oh, what's going on here? Why is that trying to dig into the cable? That's right where that nut is. Well, the nut holds it up. It's too thick, the nut is. Tight fit. Drink time. It's tight fit. Even with losing the 4 mains cables, still tight fit. Right, need to go over a bit. I should really cut it up in sections, but anyway. Oh, still going, just about. That's locked up now. Why is it locked up? 2 hands. No, could do with some lubricant. Right. It's probably because it's not over. Tell you what, let's undo a bit from here. Undo a bit, push it on. Tight fit, no doubt about it. It's a tight fit. No, it's not going. It stopped sliding. That's a shame, isn't it? Right, so what do we do on such occasions? Split it into 2. I haven't got a way of cutting that easy here. Cutters, have I got cutters? No, that's even good enough to cut that. without cutting my hand open. I ain't gonna do that. Not again. Right, so keep on pushing. How about if I wet the trunk in a bit. Wet the trunk in. Alright, let's try that. It's going. I don't want to take the skin off my knuckles. Oh, it's got too tight. What a shame. So I can't slide it on, and I've got to push it on. Okay, we'll try again. If I even get it off, look. It's that tight a fit, can't even get it off. Right, I've crimped it now. It's all fell out. Okay. It's just those nuts in the way. Those cap head screws are just in the way. Great big cap heads, 5mm long, taking up the space. Bugger, 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 bugger. Bugger, bugger, bugger. Okay. Let's try something else. Yeah, they're just taking up too much space. Right, what else can we do? What have we got here? Aluminium. How much space if I put those back to back? Quite a lot of space in there. There's a lot of space in the end of there. But how would I fasten them together? And then would it take up more than a single row? It won't actually, it'd be just alright. That would be alright. So I was going to use these for cables originally. I can nip down and chop them to size, and we definitely get sort of all the cables in there. How would we hold them together? I've got these clips. Can these be used to snap the whole thing together by some kind of miracle? Some kind of miracle, maybe. Let's try. There's two ridges on them, whether they'll snap in. They're snapped in. Sort of, they're in, but quite tight fit, yeah. Quite tight fit over there, look. It holds the two together. You could possibly put another one over the bottom. I've only got three. Saving from the scrap bin. So that holds it together. It's a spacing like, so I can't really do it now. It's a silly idea. Like I say, I have 10 ideas a day, 9 are silly, 1 is genius sometimes. Right, anyway, so I'll leave that idea. Right, second idea. Second idea. What next? So I almost had it. Okay, now can I get any of these cables in that other one? That's an idea. Right, so there is some more mains coming out of here. Tell you what, let's pull the mains out and stick them in. So that's the one coming out. We've got these two, and some more. Where are they? Oh no. Oh, I'm short. Short of cables here. Too short. I must have fell asleep. Oh my god. I never believe this. I need 2 more cables. Yeah, because we've got the water pump now that we weren't having. We've got a, yeah. I need 2 more cables. Let's put a squash on it, hasn't it, really? I'll tell you what. Let's say we're going to get more cables in that one. Put all the low voltage in here and get it out of the way. We can do that. So all the low voltage, keep all them separate. And that's a high tension voltage, that needs to go with that one. Sorry, that one. And there's high voltage, so all the rest of these are low voltage. Oh, hang on, that's low voltage as well. So the rest can, yeah, might be a tight fit. Probably a tight fit. Anyway, let's get these in here with this lid on. Right, that's it, get that in there. That looks okay. Yes, I like this idea. Right, so let's push this lid on. I can slide it on easy. Oh, yeah. And all the low voltage stuff in there. Okay, let's go up to that. Okay. Okay, so we're doing alright. Let's pull these cables. That's it. Nearly there on these. Okay. Oop. Right, we're on. That's on. That one's done. So we're just left with, yeah, we need another few cables. Right, let's see if we can get it into there. these are going to come back through here. Right, okay. And this one, I've got to try and feed all them there up that little bit. If it's possible. Will it be possible? Who knows? And there's also 2 more got to go in as well. Sort of impossible job. There's no more room there. There's literally no room, so it's got to stay where it is. There's actually no room for this anyway. So what do we do in that case? There's not enough room for that. No, there's not. We'll have to push it in. No, there's not enough room anyway. Not enough room anyway. So let's take it out. Take this off. No room for that. No room for that. Oh, got a headache now. Bit of an headache now. Right, so we could just run those cables up and over, through, and yeah, so we're gonna have to just run them like this. Yeah. Just gonna have to run them and tie them together. That's a shame because it could have done with the other cables going in there really. Could have done with the other cables. These are the live ones at the high voltage. There, that goes up there, and we can stuff it against there. Yeah, that will work. Okay. Right, just okay. Right, so here we go again. Right, one last chance to find a better way. Is there a better way? Not really. Okay, so there's not a better way. I've got 2 more cables to go in. So, that's a shame. I thought I'd finish, it's got to change the design. So I need to sort that out. Oh, it's just not good, is it? Nah, it's not good. I can't get another one in there because there's no space. The top could go up, I suppose. Let's have a look. Is there enough room for another one? Not really. If I went the other way, there would be. Yeah, there would. If I went the other way, there would be enough room. Okay. Right, start again. get it right. Start again. We're going to have to start again. Right, so anyway, we'll start again. Take this lid off. I'll take that lid off. Lid off and pull all these out. Just like that, take it off. Undo what we've done. We've got a different idea. If we put them the other way around, it might just have enough room to run the runner down it and get 2 lots of trunking in the place of it. Right, okay, so I'm going to move these. Let's take these off a minute. Oh, I'm very thirsty. Two hours, 2.5 hours, and it's 11:45 at night. Dear me. Right, I'll try this last one. I'm determined to get this in for tonight before I sign off. So I'll try a different idea. A little bit of a different idea. So you want all the cables in here. It's got to go in here really. It's got no choice, but it won't fit in one, so it's got to fit into 2. So I'm going to have to bolt 2 together. Let's see if I can manage to get 2 to fit. Once I've got 2, I can put the mains in one and the low voltage in the other. And I won't have to force the lids on. And there'll be room for 2 extra cables as well. Okay. So I'll keep going for a bit longer. Time is going, but you know, what can you do? Time is fleeting. Time is fleeting. Poor time is fleeting. Right. We've got to change the idea. Should have modelled this. If I'd have modelled this, I could have worked it all out in the model before to avoid all this trial and error. Anyway. Yeah, can't get them out. Come on. Come on out. Yay. Right. So we're gonna have that way they're 2 watt long. That way they're okay, better. So to fasten 2 of these together. Well, they are cut slightly long, aren't they? They're too long. Too long that way, so I'm going to have to go and nip and chop one of these up. In fact, I'll tell you what, these have got holes in the wrong place, so I'll go and chop these other 2. Yeah, I'll put the lid back on. I'll go and quickly chop these 2. Sorry neighbours. Yeah, gonna chop them 2 to this size. Yeah, chop them to that size. Right, back in a jiffy. I'll just chop them. Both the same size. Don't need that no more. Right. So we've got to somehow fasten these together. Now we're going to have them like this. Somehow. So will I keep the one? We might as well just make them that way round. Let's have a look. So imagine, yeah, because they were like that, so we're going to have them like that. Let's see. Just about will work on it, yeah. It's just got the clearance you need. Just. It's just got it. So once that's fastened up there, the carriage can move. Yeah, just got the clearance. So I've just got to fasten these together now with some fixings. Let's have a look. Now it can't come any further out. So to fasten that there, the lid's going to have to go on the bottom, so that'll be pushed on. Yeah, because the nut's got to go on the inside like that, and that's not quite long enough to get through to the lid. And a T-nut, so let's find the next one up. What did I do with them? Are they all the way over there? What did I do with them? I think they're over there. Yeah, yeah. Right, I'm going to have to upset the balance of power now. Right, here we go. Look at them now. Can't reach them. Right, got them. Have I got it teetering? Almost. So what we'll do, we'll readjust the balance, we'll put them there. That's it. I've got all bits of plastic all over me now. Right, so what we need, some longer ones, slightly longer ones. Put them away. Slightly longer ones, so it's got to go through the plastic. It's got to go through the plastic and out the top. And you've got to thread the cables either side of it, and that's just enough to get a T-nut on it. Let's have a look. So like that. Enough to sink the T-nut. Not quite, but anyway. So we've got to join them up. So I take the lid off, and I've got to somehow line these up if possible. They don't actually line up with the existing holes, so which means I can either fasten the two together and fasten the lid. I haven't got a nut small enough, so I'm going to have to drill these, hand drill them. So if I take the two lids off for now, hold them back to back, and then choose a drill. Right, here we go. So I'm going to fasten them through there like that. Like that. Okay. So, strictly speaking, I don't really need the lid on, because it will go up against the steel anyway. That's a better fit actually, yeah. Right, okay, so I'll leave the lid off. Let's put one one of these through here. Okay. I could fasten a nut on, but that'll only take some space up. So I'll just put a T-nut on it. T-nut there, which means I've got to slide the cables up and over this bolt hole. Oh, hang on, this is not going to go in, is it? Where's that go? Yeah, this is not going to be able to sit flush. Now it's standing up. So we'll have to put the lid on as well. Yeah, we need the lid, so we're going to have to take that out and drill the lid as well. So I need to put the lid on. Put a lid on it. Right. So it's having to go straight the way through. There we go. So that's it. Straight the way through the lid. There we go. It wasn't too difficult. Okay. Right, so put the bolt in like that through and put the T-nut on. T-nut like that. That's good. And it should be able to all the thread go in, and yeah, just perfect. Look, you can't see it, but it's just perfect. Right, that'll do. Right, so next one, next hole. I'll tell you what, we'll do the opposite end first. Okay, now the lid. Luckily, it drills very easy, this stuff. Very easy. Right. Another fixing. I'll put that one through there. Through the lid. Oh, I've got an itchy finger now. Through the lid and the T-nut on it. That's not a T-nut. Right, that's a T-nut. That's not a knife. Right, last hole. Through the bottom, the top one, and through the lid. Okay, we're done. Another one of these through there, and the T-nut, and right, that's it. So that can go in. Oh, where's it? Yeah, in there. Bolt that on, and you've got to feed all your cables in. Might be easier to feed this in now. Let's feed it in now. So the mains, right. Now I can get the mains in the top one, not the bottom one. Right, so there we go. If that's going to happen, then that needs to be. Ow. Right, so that needs to swap over with that. Okay. So the first thing I've got to do is feed this one through, and it's got to go through the bottom one. Plus the nuts in the way now. The bolts in the way, so I have to go through flush. Not easy. Definitely not easy. Right. Not easy with the crimps already on. Although I could take the lid off, couldn't I? And then things will drop out, then I'll be struggling to get them in. Let's keep going, we're nearly there. Not easy. It's not, nothing's easy, is it? Right, so I've got to take the T-nut off again. T-nut off. And take the lid off. Keep the nut in there somehow. Now, won't even come off because the thread's holding it in. It's a struggle. It's a struggle, I can't even slide it off now. Right, so just gotta get that one in there if I can. Well, right, I'm not having much luck today. Let's take these T-nuts off. You've got to build it in a certain order, so you're not going to be able to do it. I've got to get these cables in tonight, so I'll have to push them through. They don't want to come through. They don't want to come out, so I'll just get them out of the lid. Right. Okay, so the lid is off. Let's check the cables in. All the bolts have fell out, of course they have. Right, so now all these can go in here. Just like that. Just like that. And then we want to put all them in there. But we want the pin to be through. Right, that's got to go through there. Right, okay. So, like, impossible. Chicken and egg scenario. Right, okay. I'm very thirsty now again. Is that the way, or is that the way? No, that's not the way. So it's that the way, yeah. So that's going to go in there. That's going to go through there. And another one through there. That's it. Another one. It's all falling out. That's it. I've got them in right there. They're all going to go down there. that's that. Now let's put the lid on. Lid on. T-nuts on. That holds it all together. Right. Another T-nut on. T-nuts on. Okay. Alright, so we've got all the mains incomer down one side of this. We've got the other side clear. The other side is clear, is that right? Yeah. Yeah. So now I've got to push all these down the other side. They haven't got any terminals on them, so it should be easier. Sort of. So it's going to be that way around. Under gravity, how the hell am I going to do this? How are we going to do this? Let's just try it. Help! Help! No, it's not working. Right, so I haven't got any tape here. Got it covered in it now, covered in dust. Right, so how am I going to get all them in there? It needs to go in at the same time as that. And the lid, if I take the lid off, it'll all fall out. How about if I just push that in there? I would have thought this would be the tricky bit. I would have thought it was. I wouldn't have thought that. That's not going in. Getting something coming through. I'll do. Welcome to Dave's Strife and Trouble. Torture, torture, torture. Technical bit is easy. This bit not so easy. Try to get all this into the small amount of space. Not as easy as it first seems. Not as easy as it might appear. This one's not going anywhere. Don't know why. I swallowed a fly. So they're on top, these are underneath. Don't know why. Swallowed a fly. Swallowed a fly. Catch. Catch the grasshopper. Okay. Right. We're in, but we've got 2 more to go in. Which I haven't got them ready. I wonder what they pull. That's weird. They won't pull, but they'll push. Oh, hang on, that's one. We've already gone as far as we're gonna go. Alright. Get a bit more. Tip it like that. You've gone as far as you're gonna go. You did some pushing of your own, John. I wanted to get something to eat and a drink. Right, so I can put that in there now. In the slot. Now I'm going to have to get that in there next. And put the lid on, but the lid has got holes in it. No, it hasn't. Oh my god, you know what we did? Oh no. Yeah, so I'm going to have to fasten it first, then shove. Fasten it first, then shove the wires in and put the lid on. I need a drink. I've got to have a drink. Alright. Okay, so let's get these in. What's that just fell? No idea. Right, so these are going to be spun round. And I've got to get that in place to go into the slot. The first slot, and it's got to go into the slot. And it's got to sit just like that, and that is difficult. Right, let's do the middle one first. Looks very good. I should have painted these black, really. I see a red door, I want to paint it black. It black. Oh, woohoo! RCA, something's happened. Don't know what's happened there. Have I got the lid round the wrong way or something? RCA, red door. And I want to paint it black. Mechanics, they deserve a medal, mechanics do. But working on cars, they can't actually see the nut. And they're having to guess. Right, it's all going a bit tongue. Right, so fasten that in. Is it going to fasten? No. No, it's got to be undone first. Pushed up, and then the T-nut's got to spin. Right, so now I can spin it. Maybe. Is that it? Don't know. Maybe. Right. Let's just clear in the wheel. Whew. Right, next one. This one here. I see a red door, I want to paint it brown. Okay, we're in. So one more up this end. Oh, overlapped slightly because of these. Got to move the whole thing down, and I can't because I've tightened it. Bugger all money. Bugger all money. Is it going? No, it's not. Who would have thought this would have took hours? Struggle, 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 and I can't find it. Oh, right. Oh, is that? That's better. That's better. It'd be better if your statements were free of ambiguity. It would be far simpler if your statements were free of ambiguity. Okay. The last one up here. This one here. Okay, so we've got it in. It's in place. It's tight. It's not going anywhere. Right, so we've got that. That's going to go down there. Oh, I think I have got the right amount of cables. I've just put the wrong ends on the wrong ones, so I might be able to sort that out. Right. Okay, we're going to pull them in a little bit. I'll leave them loose for now. We've got to get more in. Right, so here's all the cables now. come out and be pushed through there. So we've got, you can't see what's going on really, can't bring it around because it'll tip. Two bits of trunking, one fastened to the other, one for the mains and one for the lower voltage. Now, clever bit now, I've got to push this in there and put a lid on while trying to get it over this pivot. It's not easy. So let's move the carriage a little bit over. Right, so I've got all them. Are they going to fit? They should fit in there, yeah. Right, so I've got to get them in there somehow up into there, and we've got the head of the cap head screw in the way. So I've got that to contend with as well. I've got to try and hold the cable up while I put the lid on. Right. Okay. Okay. Well, that's looking good so far because I can see that I can get the lid on. So let's try and push the lid, start pushing the lid on. Got a bit of a problem because I need to get the wires in before I can put the lid on. And I can't hold the wires in and put the lid on. And I'm upside down and I've got to get it over this pivot point as well. So I'm struggling a bit, so it's going to have to go up and over like that and try to push that on there while trying to hold it all in place. Okay, so I've got it on a bit. Okay. That's not going on. Why not? Need some kind of clamp to hold that still. Right, it's going to be very awkward. So I've got to get them over that wheel, and the wheel is in the way. It's difficult. I could try pushing the carriage right over for now, that might work. Bend it in. Get this in there first. Yes, that's it. Right, push this up here. Right. Try to get these. No, it's not going to work. I've got to feed them through there now. Oh my god. Right, we've got that over there. I've got to bring that out a little bit, push the cables in. No, there's a better way of doing it. Push that out of there. Put the cables over first. Over the carriage. So that's in. Yeah. Push that. Pull it through. Pull that through. It's got to come all the way up to there. And we've got to push the cap in. Put the cap on. Push the cap over. Tarzan. Nearly there. It's not nice. It's evil. Evil. It's an evil job. An evil job, but somebody's gotta do it. Right. Nearly there. I look back at this in the future and go, why did I do that? Why don't I just buy one? Why didn't I just buy one? Should have just bought one. Okay, getting somewhere. Getting somewhere slowly. It's not easy. Easy at all. Not one of us this many cables in. All because we want all these fancy little abilities to turn pumps on and off. In reality, when you're working, you want them all anyway. So why do you want to switch them off? No point in switching them off. But anyway. Diagnostics, you want them for diagnostics. Right, so I'm on at both ends. Now the problem is I'm not getting on here. It's not liking something or other. Screwdriver. Just put a screwdriver in. push the cables over with a screwdriver. It's still not going in. Really? It's a little bit of a problem with the road wire. Oh, I get a nice click then. Not quite. There's something it's on at the front, on at the back. Middle's not quite going in. Oh, we're on. We're on. We're on. We're on. Whew. Whew. Dear me. We're on. Right, let's put them back there. Okay, so we're in. We're not in like Flynn, we're in like struggling like hell. Okay. Couple of rogue screws that fell out earlier. Put them away. Whew. Once again. Right, so I've got a bit of tidy up to do. So I could probably swing this round now. Let's put a few tools away. A few tools away, so we've got some space. So swing it round. Three nuts we don't need. Put that away as well. Don't put off tomorrow, that's what you can do today. These clips we don't need. Right, so the amount of space that we've got away with is crazy. Nice to do with not the right amount of space. Right, so swing the whole thing round if we can. Right, so yeah, we should spin it round. Tuck these wires in. I'll tell you what, we ought to tuck these in first before we spin it round. Right. So I've got these four here. So I must have pushed them on the wrong side. Yeah, so these are the ones that go, that's the main socket. So in that case, these two aren't supposed to go there, they're supposed to go on that other switch. Right, so they've got to come out and be pulled up and over. So they want a bit more pull on the chip. Shit. Right, that goes over there. This one. Oh, yeah, neutral out. Lovely stuff. Now these, not sure which way around they are, so we've got to sort them out. I'll put them on temporary for now. Oh, why have we got too many? Ah, I know, because they've got to be cut off anyway. Some of them have got to be cut off. I'll leave that hanging there. No, we won't. It's got to be done, so we need to know which one is the incomer. Yeah, one of these is the output. I can work it out, I suppose. Just put a meter on it. put a meter on it. Work is never done, there's always something to do. Never can just go to bed or watch a film. Right, anyway. So I've got the meter on, I need to find out which one of these goes to earth rail. I can't see from here. Not enough room. Right, so that's coming from the socket. That's the main socket. Right, so that's the income and neutral, so that's got to go to the plug. Definitely got to go to the plug, that one is. And we've got to find the other one. That's the other one. Right, let's push that on. Push that on here. Okay. Now that's the outgoer, so these two, one should go to the Y section. Yeah. And the other one should go to the neutral section. But shouldn't go out over here. Yeah. Right, so they've got to be cut off and pushed into those terminals over there. So I'll cut them off. Yeah. Do that tomorrow. So they go over to there somewhere. They've got to go into a terminal block. Got to take all these temporary terminals off, put them in there. I've got to pull. Put the meter away. Right, now I've got to pull these cables, 2 oranges, like that, 2 blues, no, not that one. That one's one of them, yeah. Another one. Yeah, like that. Now the browns. Not that one. That one. And that one. Okay, now this. These two got to be pulled back, not that one. That one, that two. Let's pull them two back. No, not that one. Not that one. Not them two. This one. It's like wiring a guitar. And there's this one. Not that one. Not that other one. That's the one. Okay, about there. Right, we're done on this side. So we'll push this back over here. Okay, push this out the way. What's stopping it going back? Oh, pipes are stopping it. Right, that's it. Whew. That's it, we're done. We're done. Oh, look at this. Got to wire the back up tomorrow. Make a packer so this holds this square. It's 1 mil inside a 6 mil gap, so it can move like this. We just to push it forward. Put a little trim around it. Keep it forward. Okay, that's me done. Right. Struggle. But let's see if the carriage will run without it catching anywhere. Let's have a look. No, it's not catching, I don't think. Oh, hang on. No. Is it catching? It is a bit. Hang on. What's catching? Oh, it's just come off the wheel, that's all. Hang on. It's very close. There's a mill in it. Yeah, there's a mill in it. It's all right. It's a close call. Yeah, it's fine. Just fine. Okay. Let's see. Seems to have got away with it. Right, I'm going to check my Euro Millions now. See if I've won. Shall I check it live? Go on then. Let's check it live. Let's go back. Let's get a Euro Millions up. Euro Millions. Prize breakdown. I need to be a multi-millionaire. Right, here we go. Let's get this on. Right, I'm going to check live now. I always get disappointed. Right, so it's Tuesday. There are two things to check. Right, your jack and your maker's code. So, right, here we go. Let's check it live. I need to win some money. I could do wonders with it. 46. Right, so this is 1. And would it be funny if you thought you'd won it, but you put the wrong number in by mistake? 6, 14, 24, 31, 46, 1, and 5. And what's this one? Yeah, maker's codes. Can't read that. J M X P 1. Okay. Right, that's J M X P15385. Check. 3146. Right. Your number matches. Wednesday the 4th. What? No winning matches entered this time. Show the results. 19, 14. I've got 6 and 5. I've got two things. No, I'm not a millionaire. What a shame. What a waste of £2.50. Anyway, suppose I'll have to go up to work in the morning. Oh dear. Right, yeah. Anyway, let's have a look at the thumbnail. Front panel. Installing wire. Well, I put it in. I threaded the wires. I haven't managed to wire it. Okay, that's it for now. Quick look at the model. There we go. So what I did was I used this runner here of this 4020. I've got to keep this runner clear for the slidey doors. The trunking goes across here all the way over to a bracket that I haven't got pictured for some reason. There is a bracket here. Yeah, I've got a few things to update the model with actually. Yeah, got a bit of updating of the model to do now. The two screws here, the trunking is actually down here, and it's about a millimetre or even half a millimetre off the back of these nuts. But and then the bottom of the trunking is just above the pulley wheel, about this high, and then it's straight all the way across, so the belt goes up and round and it misses it, and it's really the only place it can go if you think about it. Can't, you know, unless you're going to bring it outside, but yeah, that's it. So it's all wide at the front, it's in the trunking, and it's all coming out on a bunch here to be spliced in and wired into this power supply. And externally we're going to have to put some, the mains get switched for the pumps and things, and they're going to have to be fed out of here somehow on some kind of connector, or it might have to make remake this plate and push this across and have a bigger area with some kind of sockets, outputs to power the auxiliary stuff, which is the air extract fan, the air assist and the water pump. These all going to switch mains out to those. Well, the air assist can be built in, the water pump could be built in, and the extractor fan is the only one that has to be out, so maybe, yeah, so we've got some work to do there. Anyway, so we also need to put one of those up there. The model needs a bit of update doing, so we should really have one of them over here. Just like that. And it needs to rotate around there, like that. That's not too bad, is it? That's alright. Okay, so it's that, and then we need another one up here, and we need to rotate it around this point here. All the way around like that. That's it. Okay, and that's what we've got. Is it? Yeah. That's what we've got there. Exactly. Okay, now have we taken care of the back yet? Yeah, we've done the back. So we've managed to update the model a little bit as well. It's amazing how quick it gets out of sync if you don't keep up to date. Right, so we've got this boilerplate plating that looks a bit weird. The 2 channels are bolted to there, which I should do really. I'll do it next time, it's a bit late now. And also, what have I got on the back here? Oh yeah, there's 2 brackets and a terminal rail got to go in as well, so we've got a bit of modelling to do. I've got a feeling, unless I can manually drill the holes for the outputs for the fan, water pump, and the water pump has its own power supply, switch mode. It's actually, I just think, I don't know if this can supply enough 24 volt to supply a water pump as well. I wouldn't have thought so. Don't want to push it, so we'll get around. I've got a big old laptop power supply, 19 volt, which runs it okay. Now it could be fastened in here somewhere. Not a lot of space. I don't really want loads of stuff hanging out all over the place. I want to try and keep it self-contained. So there's a little bit of space here above the tube. How much space have we got? Not a whole lot. Probably be able to get a brick in there somewhere. Anyway. Right. So the only thing I've got a concern about is I'm driving 2 stepper motors, one either side on this y-axis, off the same output. So I'm going to see if they do a something. Well, it's only the same as this circuit here. I've got a circuit here. Right. This one is the one off my miniature one that I started with the design. So it's still got the same 2 drivers, only single ones. And as far as I know, they're not doing anything fancy like doubling up anywhere. So, but that was only a small CNC with a very light carriage. This one's different. So I've got a feeling I need to somehow duplicate this. Probably have to do something here. We need one output to buffered somehow, probably. That's using an Arduino Nano, that is, so it's a bit slower than this other one. Right, anyway, that's gonna be it for tonight. What time? 3 hours 37 of struggle and strife. Right, I'll pass it back over to this screen, and thanks for watching. So that's number 42. Number 42, front panel, install wire. Install and feed wire should have been. Anyway, I'm out of here. What do I leave you on? I don't know. This'll do. Alright then, I'm out of here. Bye bye. Tatty bye.
This constitutes all available data. That information is not available.
Then you will remain silent until further instructed.
Confirmed.
If you didn't want the answer, you shouldn't have asked the question.
Korak, what are your limits?
They have not yet been defined. My knowledge is...
You know what they say. No good deed goes unpunished.
My interpretation of the data leaves little room for error. There seems little point in wasting time on such an explanation, since you would be incapable of understanding it.
It is an immutable certainty.
I am checking. Kindly wait.